Today's Supreme Court decision is a direct attack on black people. No black person will be able to succeed in a merit-based system, which is exactly why affirmative action-based programs are needed. Today's decision is a travesty. Yeah, that's racist. Hey, I don't get what it is with liberals, and yeah, liberals, white liberals specifically, that claim that black people cannot get nowhere without the goddamn government or these amendments or these laws that are in place. We need some type of leverage. We need some type of kick up the ladder in order to get somewhere in life. Guys, do you not know how look like Erica Marsh, former field organizer to elect President Joe Biden, volunteered for the Obama Foundation. She, her pronouns, blue heart. Yeah, guys, this is a racist that truly believes that black people are so goddamn incompetent and so goddamn stupid that we can't get nowhere without affirmative action. Even though there are a lot of black people, millions in fact, throughout history, that have made something of themselves, even without affirmative action. Whether it had been in the United States, whether it been in South America, Japan, somewhere in the UK, Africa, all those black folk in Africa who have made something of themselves. Apparently, who didn't need affirmative action. Apparently, they're not the ones that they like talking about, man. They really don't. The one thing about affirmative action, see, here's the thing, man. My take on affirmative action, I was never really that big of a fan about it, right? Because it actually held some of us back. It's like some actual black folk that was actually very smart and very intelligent on how, we could actually do things at a much more higher rate than the white counterparts, right? Like I don't know my longtime viewers who remember me reading the story about how some black parents have taken their black children out of public schools and either homeschooled them and put them in much more private ones, and they did a lot more better or just as good as white folks, right? So and they did all that without the need of affirmative action. They literally put them in schools that they put their trust in, and it was actually all about teaching them. The thing is, now you have some individuals out here that truly believe that just because of the color of their skin, right, that we can't be successful without the government's aid, without the state's aid. And a lot of individuals have actually become successful without the government's aid. So a lot of controversy going on. That even Harvard themselves came out and said this affirmative action that they did, it was actually holding some black people back. So let me guys show y'all this from on Twitter. This is Harvard's admissions rates based on race. Asians 12.7, whites 15.3, Hispanics 31.3%, blacks 56.1%. It was actual systemic racism, but labeled affirmative action. That's what the Supreme Court ruled against this morning. And this is only just college admissions, right? This is only college admissions. A lot of people, mainly from the liberal side, have lost their freaking minds. Like even Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks said this is a good thing that the freaking Supreme Court got rid of this. And that dude's a hardcore socialist, right? The guy said people should not be discriminated or just have their application just thrown out the window based on their race. A base take, I will say. And like I said, the people who are pissed off about this the most are freaking liberals. Justice Thomas towards affirmative action in 2007. Here's how the left still proves his point. In a 6-3 decision handed down Thursday, the Supreme Court ruled that colleges and universities violated the 14th Amendment when they consider race as a factor in the admissions process. Justice Clarence Thomas, who sided with the majority, has spent much of his career battling the stigma that accompanies race-based admissions. Once it is assumed that everything you do achieved is because of your race, there is no way out, Thomas said ABC News in 2007. Thursday's ruling gave Thomas the opportunity to amplify long-held objections to race-based preferences. Steve Guest, a former advisor to Republican Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, tweeted experts excerpts from Thomas' reply to dissenting Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. Justice Jackson looked. I'm not reading that crap. Thomas added that Justice Jackson race-infused worldview flat out falls flat each step. Individuals are the sum of the unique experiences, challenges, and accomplishments. What matters is not the barriers they face, but how they choose to comfort them. You know what? I will agree with that wholeheartedly. Remember that video, that clip Malcolm X did? Liberals who pretend to be your friend, they pretend to be your allies, but then they'll be the first ones to backstab you. Guys, this policy here. Harvard's preference for underrepresented minorities. Harvard's admission data reveal astonishing racial disparities in admission rates among similarly qualified applicants. SFFA's experts testified that applicants with the same academic index, a metric credited by Harvard based on test scores and GPA, had wildly different admissions rates by race. Like I said from before, up here, Asians 12.7, whites 50.3, 31, Hispanics 31.3%, blacks 56.1. So the Supreme Court got rid of this, and people are, a lot of people are pissed off at the one person the most, the literal only black judge in the Supreme Court right now, Clarence Thomas. And some things I agree with him on, and some things I don't agree with him on. But the one thing his takes are mainly based. He comes from the old school era where he's seen some stuff that I probably would never experience in my life, and he's had to fight tooth and nail in order to get that position in the Supreme Court, especially when it pertains to the president right now, Joe Biden, who tried his best to keep Clarence Thomas out of the Supreme Court because Joe Biden was actually pushing systemic racism on towards Clarence Thomas to make sure he didn't get that seat in the Supreme Court. So you had Joe Biden coming out saying like, "Oh, this is a disgrace," even though he was the same guy that was pushing systemic racism onto black people, and liberals are sucking Joe Biden off like that, like it's their morning cereal, it's their morning breakfast. Here we got some evidence from Harvard themselves saying like we are rejecting all these individuals who are in fact black because of this thing called affirmative action. See, affirmative action, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. When it first started, it was actually to get more people into some said areas like colleges. At that time, it's good. Now, we don't really need it that much because there are black people who are in a whole bunch of different areas and different groups, and they got there without the need of affirmative action. Nowadays, affirmative action in some areas will actually hold black folk back, and the liberals are actually mad at the Supreme Court system for actually doing something right, because when it pertains to constant mentions, with them getting rid of this, where Harvard or any other college profession would not, what's what I'm looking for? They would not reject some people based on their skin color to try to keep the diversity or the ethnicity at a stable level. Like they want to keep this race, maybe, okay, let's say Asians at 1/3%. Then they want to keep this race 1/3% whites, and then they got to keep this race blacks 1/3%. You see all these, the percentage of rejections from Harvard University themselves. Like I said, man, Harvard is an overrated freaking school. It really is. So, what's this from Sonny Johnson? Sonny Johnson? I don't know. I already watched this chick. They underline an argument. If affirmative action goes away, progressive colleges will stop admitting black people. Shouldn't you have some questions for those progressive colleges? You also need some questions for the school systems that are preparing those applicants. Yeah, which is true. A lot of these systems that was all for putting forth black people, they end up rejecting black folks the most because of affirmative action, which is just another label for systemic racism, right? That's literally what it is. They hold some folks back, black, white, Asian, Hispanic. They hold some, mainly Hispanic and blacks. They hold them back And then when the Supreme Court system has gotten rid of the policies that hold them back, all of a sudden, black folk are, like we saw from Erica Amish. You saw how she thinks of black folks, right? She thinks we're incompetent, that we can't get anywhere without the need of the states, without the need of the government. Guys, this is why I don't really fill my circle with liberals, especially white liberals, okay? Because they act like they're your friend, they act like they're your allies, but then at the end of the day, they're gonna be like, hey, my intentions was good, but what would you be without me? Like, that's sort of talking point, right? Guys, like I said, man, affirmative action, in my opinion, was always a double-edged sword. In the beginning, it actually helped out some people, but then now it actually caused some damages. And a lot of people don't actually see that, especially when it pertains to constant mentions. Like, here's the thing, man. This whole getting rid of the affirmative action for constant mentions, like, that's it. It's literally only for constant mentions, and you see all these folks losing their freaking mind. Where instead of, like, just getting in with a kickstand, you actually had to get in by your own hard work and your own merit. If some person has a higher GPA than you do and they get in, then they just was they was just better than you academically. It's not because of racism, not really that driven about it, or they may have some problems academically, because a prestigious school like Harvard does not want mediocre. They want, like, the best of the best. And that's where a lot of people really don't get the picture, right? You gotta actually work your damn hardest. Like, you can't get distracted by anything. You gotta be studying mainly 24/7, even at your job. Like, it's just how it is. You gotta work hard, man. You gotta work for it. You gotta work for your dream job. You gotta work for your dream career and all that stuff. The career. You gotta be a career-driven person. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna go to Harvard, and then on the weekends you'll be at the club drinking and stuff like that, and then you out of time studying. A lot of people have went to Harvard, black folk and Hispanic folk that went to Harvard, and they made it. They did all that without affirmative action. Some got in, some didn't. It is what it is. But guys, you can't keep on blaming, like, this whole, oh, we can't get nowhere without affirmative action. No, a lot of people have. And what's that one lady who just came out with a comment said? Shamika Michelle from the Blaze. After what Erica Marsh said about how black people, without affirmative action, black people would not be able to get nowhere because they ain't got no leg up. Because we need a leg up, according to this liberal, right? Here's what Shamika Michelle said. My black child just graduated high school with a 4.43 and 72 college credits. Okay, that's good. That's good for her. Good for her. Thank you for letting us know that her skin color means she's still dumb as F and can't succeed on merit. So, Shamika Michelle, kudos to your daughter for getting that GPA. But yeah, that's what liberals think of black folk when they think affirmative action actually benefits us the most. But you can't really say you succeeded when you got a freaking kip up. That goes with anybody. It's all based on your own merit. It's all based on how career driven you are, right? That's basically what it is, man. A lot of people don't see it that way. It is what it is. But guys, like I said, affirmative action was always going to be a double-edged sword. Some people back then in the 60s, they thought it was going to be this everlasting thing that was going to last forever, help us out. Turns out it didn't, especially when we changed the college admissions. And like I said, it was only college admissions. They ain't talking about the workforce. They ain't talking about the U.S. military. They ain't talking about none of that, right? They only talk about college admissions. But that's all I got for this one right here. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comments below. Yeah, guys, like the video, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Share the video. Hit the notification bell. I will see you on the next one. Peace.